everyone, welcome to Design Sounds, your favorite creative hub, and if it's not your favorite now, it will become. I'm just really here to share my passion and my expertise, which is all about design, artistry. I want to give more backstory about how I got here, who I am, and how I ended up in the world of design. And I really just want to give you guys a little piece of what you should expect for this series. So whether you are just a design enthusiast, you just like watching videos on design, an artist, or a business owner looking to elevate your brand, right here's the place. You ain't gotta go nowhere else. Join me on this creative journey as we explore the art and science of design. So this channel is just a source for inspiration, tips, hands-on tutorials. So let's make design not a skill, but a way of life. Subscribe, hit that bell button, and let's turn up to design sounds together. I am an extra organized person, so I'm going to go ahead and start with how I got here, what got me into creativity, and everything of that such. I had to be about 5. I wanted to start a cupcake business, and so I spent my first grade year and my second grade year building this like cupcake stand and making cupcakes and learning how to do all this stuff so that I could go ahead and I sold them at we had a biz day at our school. And my dad made a stand for me and my mom helped me make all the cupcakes and put sprinkles and just really, and they both really invested time and energy into something that for me just felt like, a hobby. It wasn't, I didn't want to be a baker, but I love the artistry of the building of a brand and creating these cupcakes and seeing the faces on people, and I wanted to continue that, and I didn't know how I wanted that to look, but I knew it's something that sparked in me. And a lot of the times when you have parents that support a lot of what you do, it's so much easier to do exactly what you want to do. And so with that support, I ended up having a lot of coloring books, and I would coloring books, and then on holidays, currently we're in the holidays, so Thanksgiving, Christmas, I would go ahead and I would sell my pages of coloring books for $2. I'm 9 years old, so my family's just oh yeah, I'll buy it, it's a cute little thing. And I my sister, she was really into performing arts, so she would then go ahead and teach me and my 2 cousins to dance. And so she would create these dances for us, so we would have a whole act, the 4 of us, we would have a whole act and performance, and then we had all these coloring book pages that we were putting up for everyone to buy. And from there it just expanded into this small business, and I always called it a art center. And so I kind of was recruiting my family to be a part of this, and they were interested in it because I played to their strengths. And as I'm older now, I see how business savvy I had to be to convince everybody into this. And even we would do their nails at family reunions, family members' nails and toes at family reunions. And I've also been a photographer most of my life. That's something that I've had a passion since as far as I can remember, especially since I got a phone. I was able to be on YouTube, and I was okay, how do I start a YouTube channel? Camera. And it turned into photography, and it turned into taking pictures of nature, and it just kind of grew me into such a being that was okay, how do I flip this again? How do I continue to go and flip this and turn into this and turn into that? I was always looking for, okay, I love this, but how do I build on this? And so even at 12, when I was getting 20K views on YouTube, it was, to me, such a small thing. But it was always a way I knew how to express myself. And I knew I was okay, this is nice, I like this, but this ain't enough yet. And that came with a lot of perfectionism, but as I got older, I continued with YouTube, I continued with photography. I became a sports photographer. In my school, I also became an editorial photographer and an event photographer, and so those are like my 3 main subjects. But I knew it wasn't enough. I knew that's not all I wanted. And so when I was 16 and I had the opportunity to go look at schools, I said whatever schools have the best top 3 websites I think that are easy to navigate, that are visually pleasing, and attract to me, those are the schools I'm gonna visit. And they ended up being Parsons in New York, SCAD, and RISD, so Rhode Island Institute of Design, I think that's what it's called. And I never went to Rhode Island because I lived in Delaware, which is also, like, Rhode Island is smaller than Delaware, and I wanted more. I didn't want to go smaller, and so I thought it wasn't a place for me. Parsons, I ended up not getting in because SCAD accepted me the same day I applied to Parsons, and I was like, well, SCAD's my number 1 choice. And SCAD ended up being my number 1 choice because I went to go visit the school, and my dad was kind of like, yo, you should go to university, like, you never know, you might change your mind. And I'm sitting here like, boy, I've been doing the same thing since I was 5. Why do you think I'm gonna change my mind now? And I think he was valid for feeling that way, but I knew what I wanted, and I knew no one could tell me anything else. And once he saw SCAD, he knew that it was a place for me, and he went all in, and he supported me like to the max. That, you know, especially going to art school and knowing if I ever wanted anything else, none of my credits could transfer. He made it, you know, a place for me that felt like, hey, I support you too. And so I went to SCAD, an amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. It was hard in so many different ways. I think you guys should check out my last video where I said why I didn't leave SCAD. I just graduated in August. It's November. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really happy. School has put me through a lot. Life has put me through a lot. And I think that being able to get into design has been just life-changing. It's been an outlet. I think a big thing about design is just kind of going into my second question that I wanted to answer today, that a lot of what design isn't just the photography. It's not just the visual language. It's not just a flyer. It's not just business cards. It's not just a logo. It is everything. We all live in design every single day. You go to a restaurant, you can't see the font on the menu. Yeah, that's design. A bad designer made that and it didn't work. You're on a website, the color on the background and the text color are too close to each other, so your eyes are literally vibrating. That is a design issue. That's an accessibility issue. You are going to the store and you can't find the product that it is always there. Even if that's not a packaging issue, someone who designed the store for years put it in that specific place knowing that people would know where it's at, and someone changed it. That is a design issue. You are looking for an exit. You can't find it. And as you're passing it, you finally see the sign that said you should have got off there. That is a design issue. You're on an app and you're trying to figure out how to contact or go to the support on an app. You can't find it. It's a design issue. Design is everywhere. Design is how you know to push or pull on a doorknob. Design is life. Design is how you communicate, how you understand. And I think sometimes we don't recognize it as design, but all those small little frustrations that you have is design. And I'm not just an artist, I'm a problem solver. And when I mesh those two together, and I love the aspects of what a businesswoman makes me, when these 3 things come together, it's magical. And I just happen to have all 3. It's not meant to be cocky. It's just meant to be very confident because I know what I have and I know what the world needs and I know how to fulfill those needs. And I'm gonna try everything in my best possibility to do that. And I think I'm gonna leave it off here. I am so open to any questions, comments, concerns. You wanna see my art? I'm gonna show it. Like, I am so open and willing in the talks and the sounds about design. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, just opening up and getting to know who I am and how I see the world of design. And I can't wait to be back next week for Sound Sunday. So thank you guys so much for listening, and bye.